Isles. If you haven't, you should make it over to their website at www.ca-britishisles.com. We'll see you there.
Every day there's a headline, a political debate, or a story that doesn't quite add up. On LSB Film Productions, explore thought of the day videos on trending issues, discussions around law and rights, and conversations that look beyond the surface. Each week, the podcast features interesting people from all walks of life, sharing experiences, perspectives, and stories that don't always make the mainstream conversation. Different viewpoints, real discussions, questions that matter. Search LSB Film Productions on YouTube and decide for yourself.
We've been told to choose life, choose sitting on the sofa, choose mind-numbing game shows, choose watching the world go by while the powers that be spend your money on things you never asked for. But we chose something else. We chose freedom. Freedom together, freedom to dance, freedom to be loud, alive and beautifully human. This summer, choose something real. Choose Sounds Beautiful, the Freedom Festival. Music, people, energy and freedom. Sounds Beautiful. Come feel it. Tickets from soundsbeautiful.uk.
All across the British Isles, something is changing and our communities are coming together and making things happen. Over the last 4 years, the Community Assembly of the British Isles has been bringing people together to listen, to share and to shape a better future for everyone. Join the Community Assembly of the British Isles today and be together for a better future at www.cabritishisles.com.
Introducing Eco Green Compost, black gold, engineered on a Lincolnshire family farm. Eco Green Compost isn't just dirt, it's a high-performance, 100% peat-free secret weapon for your garden. Our EGC is born from straw, willow and green cover, whilst our science-backed formula locks in carbon and feeds the soul of your soil. Expect incredible blooms and prize-winning veg, all whilst protecting our planet's vital peatlands. Ready to outshine the neighbours? Feed your passion with a professional's choice. Visit ecogreencompost.co.uk and grow the future today.
Clock, clock, wake up your mind. Moo. Fill up your day. Oink, oink. Smart little bites that brighten your way. You're listening to Food for Thought Radio. Here at FFTradio.com. Clock, moo, oink. Food for Thought Radio. Here at FFTradio.com.
No, order, sit and leave.
This is the best political satire broadcast in the universe.
Order! I say to the honourable gentleman, give me this.
You are listening to Fockham Hall with Eric von Essex.
Good evening and welcome to another exciting show. And we have a problem. What's happened is it hasn't picked up on YouTube for some unknown reason. And we're not going live on YouTube. We're only going live on Food for Thought Radio and Rumble and Facebook. So I don't know what's happened, but we've got Patrick in the studio. Patrick, what do you think's gone wrong? It's gone tits up, hasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they don't want you on YouTube right now. Maybe we're
Weird,
too maybe we're too hot for YouTube.
Maybe it is. Maybe it was what the odd one out competition. But we're live on Food for Thought Radio and we're going out on there, and similar happened with Paul last Thursday. Something happened where he couldn't go out over YouTube for some unknown reason.
And we only have 2 people in Rumble, which is odd. Because usually it's at least 10 or more.
Precisely.
Way more.
Something very strange going on. Now, I'm thinking of actually going out live on YouTube now on a separate feed.
Yeah.
And the trouble is, if I cut off the sound, people won't be able to hear me, will they? So I can't really do that either.
No, we got
Isn't that
3 in
weird?
Rumble. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, that is really weird. So let's have a look at Food for Thought Radio, because there is a chat room in Food for Thought Radio. So so I'll have a quick look in Food for Thought Radio.
Yeah.
Was it for Thought Radio.com and see if we should be going.
Paul evening chaps. YouTube becoming more unreliable every week. Mark Anthony writes us.
Yeah, it really is.
Sparkle. Yeah, I see everybody. Matilda, Sammy.
Yeah, and well, I'm going to go.
Wait.
I'm going to go.
Okay, go ahead.
No, sorry, carry on, mate. Carry on.
I'm just looking back on this. You know, there are only a few people in there at the moment. All fine here, Paul says.
Is it going out over YouTube?
No. On the Food for Thought.
Oh, Food for Thought. Yeah, Food for Thought. It's fine. Yeah.
He says it's all fine there. So.
Oh, that's great.
YouTube is. They dropped the ball.
They certainly have. And so I'm going through on the
Paul's here.
Food for Thought. Yeah. Mark is, and
no, I mean here in the studio, we've got our guest.
Oh,
another guest.
Sorry, have we? Hang on, let's have a look.
Do you see him?
Oh, so we have. Yes, he's Royal Hanorak. Evening, Mr. Hanorak. Or evening,
good evening, sir.
Things have gone tits up on YouTube, haven't they?
They have. Let me just go back into it and see if it's working now.
I
doubt it.
No, it just didn't pick up.
It was initially there because I could see the comments on there, and then it just had a hissy fit and disappeared off.
Yeah,
I don't know how YouTube works. I don't use YouTube all that often, so.
Well, I'm getting fed up with it, quite honestly, YouTube, and I actually think that there might be something to do with today's odd one out question, and I'll definitely be off of it. Well, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, because tomorrow's one is real hot.
Did you send me that question? Is that what those? Oh, okay.
That's right.
Keir Starmer human. Oh, yeah. That triggered it. That triggered it.
That might trigger it. You never know. So, should we have a rundown of is Keir Starmer human? And this was put out on Telegram, and this was a poll that was put up. Okay, so we just have a quick look in there now. Let's have a look.
I can only imagine there's one answer, to be honest with you.
They don't like those questions for some reason. Whenever you start comparing people to animals and that kind of thing, oh man, that's a sensitive thing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I've definitely been blocked there tonight, so I don't know quite what's going to happen. But
in fairness, that's a bit unfair on the animals, to be honest. I mean, let's be honest. Even a bottom feeder would be better than be more intelligent than Keir.
Well, even Jesus called people animals. He called the Pharisees serpents. So yeah, what's wrong with calling people by an animal name?
That's true.
Well, that's right.
He might be a monkey. Is that
Well, the thing is, we got here is Keir Starmer human from the top. Well, let's put it by votes. You see, there's been 13 votes, and these are the questions. You see, it says yes, he is human, but at a difficult age. That got no votes. He's a demonic psychopath. That got 6 votes. That got 46%. He is away with the fairies. That got 0%. His mummy took him off his dummy too early. That got 7%.
I think the problem there, Chris, is that his mummy actually kept the dummy.
He is a crossbreed from the planet Zob. He is crossbred from that got 0. And then this is another one. He's had a brain transplant that rejected him. That got 23%.
I just voted. So go back to planet Zob.
Oh, planet Zob. Yes, he is a crossbreed from the planet Zob. Yeah, that's a good one. Had too many jabs when young. That's affecting his brain. That might have been the reason I've been booted off. That's one. That's 7%. When they handed out brains, he thought they said trains and missed his. That's 7%. Has undergone a personality bypass surgery. 21% believe that. And 7% said a figurehead for zombies everywhere. And 7% said has to be dug up every morning before work. And 14% said a champion for weirdos everywhere. So there we go. So that's Keir Starmer.
I bet you that got you booted from YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That definitely
Wow.
got me booted.
That's
Isn't
pretty,
that
pretty
and,
pitiful.
well, Gizzy said Starmer has got dead eyes. He is sort of.
Yeah.
So now the odd one out competition. Okay. So any guesses here? What one is the odd one out? And this definitely got me booted. Dick Turpin. And for our American listeners, that he was a famous highwayman of the 18th century. I don't know if you was aware of that.
Nope.
Yeah. Well, he used to say, "Stand and deliver." So they say, but whether he said it or not, I don't know. Adamain. Have you ever heard of Adamain in the States?
The singer.
Yes, a singer.
Yeah.
Who says, "Stand and deliver." And traffic police and speed stroke ULIS cameras. What one of those four is the odd one out?
Adamant. He's the only one not claiming then.
Sorry, is the only one not
ripping people off potentially.
Yeah, he's got artistic license. He can get away with it. Yeah.
Well, the rest of them are highway robbery. That is speed cameras, traffic police, and Dick Turpin was highway robbery. But Adamant acted the part of a highwayman, but he wasn't actually a highwayman. So that is the odd one out. And tomorrow we have a real humdinger of a one. And this is the one to get you actually thinking. And if this doesn't get me banned, nothing will. And I've got to go over to my book and reference.
The red book is out.
That's right, yes.
This is your life.
Well, there's one coming up later on, which you can think about, and that is the odd one out. Oh, yes, tomorrow night is, what is the odd one out? Voters, kamikaze pilots, the Cottingley Fairies, and a dropout. That's a difficult one, isn't it? That really is a difficult one. So it's voters, kamikaze pilots.
What do you mean by dropout?
A dropout is a tramp, a hobo.
Okay.
Someone's dropped out of society.
Oh yeah,
By
yeah.
choice.
That's
But
what I figured, but not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They call
that
them
one-
bums in America, don't they? I don't know why they call them that.
Railroad
Yes.
bums, hobos.
Hobos, yes. So that is the one that's coming up tomorrow. And who can guess the odd one out? So there it is again. It's
Crusties.
voters. That's underpants or knickers in Australian talk. That is. Oh, go and get me crusties.
Crusties, yeah.
It's the underwear. That is. Because when I first heard that, I thought, what? Now they're called crusties.
Here, I found that joke. We were talking about knickers and the difference between the American, the version, the 3/4 pants, the pirate pants, and the Brits. Here, I'll play this little thing. It's
Okay.
Red Fox on the John Barber show, and I think it was like 65. So.
How are you?
What are those you have on, Red?
I think I was down south. I got these down south. I was in Mississippi for 2 days, and everybody kept saying knickers, knickers. So I bought me a pair.
All right. Good thing. Good thing we're not on YouTube.
Well, that's right, because knickers are ladies. What ladies wear.
I know.
But I'm saying it for the American listeners, and it got more knickers. Now going over to chat in FF Food for Thought Radio, Mark Anthony said, "Eric, I liked the joke about Jacinda Ardern you posted on Telegram." Yes,
Jacinta. Or I think
Jacinda, or whatever her name is. That's the New Zealand Prime Minister, Prime Minister.
the one accused of doing cocaine during COVID.
The one that does laps at Aintree.
That's right. And I said
she's Freemason too.
Well, a female Freemason. Yeah. And I said on Telegram, I said, if I had a dog that had a face like hers, I'd shave its arse and train it to walk backwards. So
Is she? She's no longer the Prime Minister there, is she?
No.
But
I apologise if my voice gets croaky. I lost my voice on Monday. I couldn't speak for 3 or 4
allergies.
days.
It's all the pollen in the air. Springtime.
Yeah. I used to get hay fever, terrible, and I used to come out in rashes with it. It was so bad. And I found out it is eczema. And you remember that? Is it Gorbachev? He used to have this big patch, like birthmark on his forehead.
Forehead, yeah.
I used to have something like that, which was like, it was eczema, and I used to have terrible rashes. And I go into like hay fever attacks, and I was driving along once, overtaking a car on a fast lane, and I got an attack. Some pollen came in. The car, Afro, and I was sneezing all up the front inside face of the windscreen. And people must have thought, oh, what a disgusting person. But that was how fierce the hay fever was. And I grew out of it for a little while. Then it come back. I've gone onto this keto diet. I might have a little sniffle or a sneeze once. That's it. It's gone.
See, nettle tea tends to do that for me. It stops it instantly. I was out up in Scotland 2 weeks ago, and I was having nettle tea each morning. And the first morning I was all sniffly and had some, and within 10 minutes of having it, it had gone. And it was last meal day. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Nettles, fantastic things.
Well, the Romans didn't trust doctors, so they swore on nettles, and they are really fantastic. Use them as greens. And I'll tell you another one I'm going to cook tomorrow. Now, I've eaten them raw and I don't got much on them, and that is thistle, the stems. And I tried the stems and it tasted horrible, but I'm going to try cooking them tomorrow and see how they come out. Yeah. But no, it's the other thing is, I'm just going into chat now. What is it now? Sammy said, I accept the possibility that some of the masters are sometimes possibly by alien entities. That is a possibility. You'll be back.
I think they all are.
Yeah.
Especially when you see, like, I watched a video with Obama and one of his bodyguards that you could see the eyes changing from human to, let's go, reptilian. It's probably the best description.
Yeah, you're right. I've actually seen that as well. And, oh, bloody hell, I've just seen a picture of myself in Food for Thought Radio. Blimey, it's made me feel all sick, that has. Not a pretty sight. Yes, warning. Yes, remember to lock your horses up and make sure there's no dogs or children in the room before going on to Food for Thought Radio and seeing a picture of me. Hello.
So if you had this beautiful weather we got at the moment, then just in time for the Chelsea Flower Show.
Yeah. But what's the temperature where you are, Paul? Because you're just about 200 miles. Well, you're about 200 or 300 miles from me, aren't you? About 200 miles, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
To the west. And it's humid where you are? It's humid all over Britain, isn't it?
It's humid tonight, yeah.
Bloody humid. And as St. Patrick, where you are, it's dry heat, isn't it? That's lovely.
Yeah, and it's about 24 degrees Celsius at the moment. I think that's, it's supposed to be like a high, what is that, like 75, 76?
Well, today it was 27, 28 outside.
Yeah.
And I think it's similar, it must have been similar where you are, Paul.
Tomorrow, it's supposed to get up to 29 on Tuesday here. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, which is good.
Really?
We need it. But it's not, it's in the morning, it says 15% chance. So.
But it's a bank holiday here, so it's bank holiday Monday tomorrow. So
really? So it coincides with our Memorial Day.
Oh, you got Memorial Day. Do you
Monday.
Do you have bank holidays at all in the States?
We don't call them bank holidays. We call them just holidays. Oh. I don't know what you call them. You call them bank holidays. Why do they call them bank holidays? Because the bankers take a day off and they run your country.
I've never understood why they call them that, though, because Sundays, I don't work Sundays either, but we don't call them a bank holiday.
No.
Well, it's the
that.
It's the Lord's Day. Yeah, that's the day of rest.
And also, Sunday being the first day of the week. I always look on Monday as the first day of the week, but it is actually Sunday, the first day of the week. Yeah, I can't quite get my head around that one.
Biblical.
Yeah.
With a 13-month calendar, it would be the same every month. So every month would finish on a Sunday and start on a Monday, or finish on a Tuesday or whatever. It'd be the same every month, but that'd be the same consistent throughout. Should get back to that.
Yeah. It's a bit like, what is it now? Saturday, I think, is the Jewish Sunday, isn't it? I don't think they work on
Sabbath, yeah.
Yes, their Sabbath.
In Russian, it's called Sabota, I think is what it.
What about Muslims?
Also,
Are they Sunday or
Sabutio.
Saturday? I don't know. Anybody Muslim out there know where
Friday?
Is it Friday?
Yeah, it's Friday.
Oh.
And then Sunday is the Christian holiday.
Oh, that's handy, isn't it?
It's the day of the resurrection. Jesus rose from the dead.
Actually, you might know the answer to this one. Why is Easter always a different date?
It's by the lunar cycle. It has to do with the lunar cycle. So it coincides with the full moon at a certain time. I don't exactly know how.
Because wasn't it supposed to do with the death of Christ or the resurrection of Christ?
The death and resurrection, yeah. He died on Friday and rose on Sunday.
But should it be the same date every year? Because you can only die on the
they
same
go by
day.
they go by the moon, the lunar cycle, but then they reckon it from the equinox, or not either the equinox or the solstice. Usually, I think it might be the solstice. They do it from, and then it's like whatever first full moon, and it's 40 days till the Easter time, and they do it, and it usually coincides also with the Jewish lunar calendar, and that's usually Easter and their Passover coincide. But then in Russia, they still go by the Julian calendar, so they're even further behind, because there was a certain point in like 1580 when they changed the calendar like 15 days and just jumped forward 15 days, and that was the Gregorian calendar. So they went from the Julian, named after Julius Caesar, to the Gregorian, because they found that as time went on, the days would go back and back further, in time as far as seasons.
Yeah, because if you divide 365 by 13, you get 28 points something or other.
Yeah.
So it's not a complete.
It's not
exact
complete
28,
day,
but it's close as
like
they get.
4 or something like that.
We get an extra month wages if that was the case.
But it's always 365 days roughly. So we, like the time of day, we go by a 24-hour clock. We could do that by anything. That's kind of a very subjective thing, that we have 12 hours or 24 hours. So you could have 36 hours. That's kind of an arbitrary thing, but that they're always going to be 365 days out of the year to year. You can't change that.
Now, Exo has just said, and Christ went a bit lunatic after death by freaking people out and appearing to them in cosmic spirit form. Now, but
walking through walls.
How does the Catholic Church approach the evidence that Christ wasn't born at Easter? He was actually born in September time, because they said, while shepherds watch their flocks by at night. Well, I think it would have been too cold for their flocks to be out at Easter time in the biblical days. So I don't know. What's your view?
I'm not sure.
Because I think the evidence shows that he was actually born around sort of September time.
Well, I reckon that's what 9/11 links to. That's the actual date he was born.
Well,
and that's why it's such a significant date with a lot of events that take place. 9/11.
That's right.
11/9, I suppose.
But the thing is, he was born in Judea, and they think he was Jewish.
Bethlehem.
But apparently, he wasn't, because Judea was a place.
But he was born in Bethlehem.
Bethlehem, was it?
Yeah, that's
sorry. You know more about religion, as I've never read the Bible. So over to you, mate.
Yeah, the prophecy was that he would be born in Bethlehem, and there was a census that the Romans took, and during the time of, I think it was Julius Caesar, and then all the men had to go back to their birthplace, and Joseph was born in Bethlehem, so they all traveled back to Bethlehem, and there was no room in any of the inns. The innkeepers were, their inns were all full, so they ended up in a manger, and Mary gave birth in a manger. And then the kings from the east came, 3 kings, and bearing presents to King Herod, and there was a time when he was concerned because the prophecy was that a king would be born in Bethlehem. So when these kings said they followed a star all the way to Bethlehem, he wanted them to come back and report to him where this child was. And they had a dream, a vision of the angel telling them not to go back to Herod and to return some other way.
Well,
because he eventually ordered that all the firstborn children be slaughtered because they were a threat to him.
Well, I've just shown my complete and utter ignorance of religion.
Oh, that's all right. No, I know this because I grew up with this. These stories are just all, old hat to me.
I mean, as I say, the only time I went to a church when I was young was for christenings, weddings, and funerals, and that's all for the same person. No, I'm joking there. but it was sort of Church of England. But my mum was a little bit religious, but my dad sort of, so. I never went.
It's common in England, and I don't blame you because you've seen the current Bishop of Canterbury, and so it's like that's not a bishop.
That's right. But Jesus wasn't born at Easter; he was born at Christmas. Slap wrist. Yeah, you're right. He was. Sorry about that.
Well, the thing is, I mean, I used to get dragged to church by my mum when I was young, and I've said once I was able not to go, I stopped going. But I have since read. I've got a 200-odd-year-old Bible in there that was my granddad's. My dad gave it to me. And I've read through. The only 2 sections I've read is Genesis and the Book of Revelation. Both very interesting reads because the Book of Revelation is what's playing out at the moment.
Well, yeah, one of them begins the Bible and the other one ends the Bible. So yeah, they're interesting that way. But you miss an awful lot though. Between them,
it's a massive book though. I tell you.
Whoa! Hey, we need some 3D glasses. You went double there for a moment there, Chris.
Hang on, here I am. Yeah, I actually had to change feeds because the feed went down. So we're really what's happened? The chat got stuck for some unknown reason, so I had to change feeds, and I got double. So things are really going titties up tonight.
Do you know what snafu means?
No,
it's a military term they used to use back in like World War II.
Mm-hmm.
It's acronym SNAFU. Situation normal, all fouled up. You can switch the F word, But,
I like that one. I tell you one that's a bit insulting. So please, American listeners, please don't take offence. Situation. I like that. Savio. The one that I used to put on vehicles was US, and that to change it when America joined in with Britain. During World War II, because they put US, which meant US unserviceable. So you used to got US on the side, and American troops took insult to it. We said, sorry, it means unserviceable. I mean, and I had to change that one. There's a lot we had to change. Because apart from driving on the wrong side of the road.
Well, you remember the Bugs Bunny cartoons, don't you?
Yeah.
It was Mel Blanc or Blanc.
Mm-hmm.
He was the one that did the voice of Bugs Bunny. Well, they did during World War II these cartoons for the servicemen called Private Snafu, and that was the name of this private who's like the lowest member of the military, and all the things you shouldn't do when you're at war, and he ends up falling into booby traps and all these kind of things, and it's a whole cartoon series that they did. And there was one that even got banned because it mentioned the nuclear bomb.
Really?
Yeah. Because it was all about the censor, the military censor. You'd write home to your girlfriend, you tell the girlfriend what's going on, and it's, we got this bomb, and So anyway,
I got a story about it. Could you run that through me again? What is it?
Private snafu. Situation normal. All fouled up.
Oh, yeah. It's like we had over here, providing beverages and food and that for the troops called the NAFI. Navy, Army, something else it stands for. And what it was a catering thing. They did all the catering for the forces. So it'd be the Navy, Air Force, and the Army. It's called the NAFI. And the blokes called it, but that was it the Army? No ambition, all interest. And there was another one. It's an entertainment. Was it ENSA? And they said, was it every night something awful? Because it was the crappiest acts. Because people got into ENSA, not always, but sometimes with people that have been in the entertainment industry and they got their call-up papers and, shall we say, maybe by a little bit of sleight of hand, they managed to get into ENSA. And that is, they got round entertaining the troops. They didn't have to go in the front line. So you might got very third rate or fourth rate or bloody awful entertainers who have been fiddled into it. Not all, again, some of them were skillful entertainers, but been fiddled into it to get out of going into the front line. So that's what they called it.
It's not many worse than Jimmy Cricket. Do you remember him?
It was World War II. ENSA. ENSA was World War.
Yeah, World War II. That's Britain. I don't know what the Americans had similar. I don't know what they.
I think I have read something about John Lennon's father being in that.
ENSA. Yeah.
He was an entertainer, so that he didn't have to go to the front lines.
That's right. Every night, my uncle, he was in his 50s when he was conscripted because they took. My uncle was one of very few people who was in the First and Second World War, but they put the conscription age up to 52, I think it was, and he just came into it, and he was conscripted, and because of his age, he got into ENSA. And mind you, he was a comedian. This was on my father's side, and he actually was posted to the Orkneys. And he entertained the troops in the Orkneys, never saw a bullet or anything. But I mean, he did see a lot of action in World War One. But there was a lot of poor sods that were actually in World War One and World War Two. That's easily overlooked because they put the conscription age up to 52, I think it was. Yeah. I was even thinking of putting it up to 60. And 65.
I know they had advertisements on the radio for people joining at the age in their 70s. You know, they were. You listen back to these old radio plays and things where they advertise for recruiting for the military, and they're like, "Oh, I'm 70 years old and I can jump and skip and do all these things. I'm joining the military." And so they were pushing that even for almost everybody.
Well, we had the Home Guard. The Germans had this Voltstrong, wasn't it? Voltstrong, which was, I'll have to ask with our Kraut's that right. They were the elderly people. I think they were volunteers, but I know the Home Guard were volunteers, and some of them were in their 80s.
Yeah,
and I don't know. It's like I guess you've seen Dad's. Have you seen Dad's Army?
No. I think I've seen bits of it.
Well, it's very British humour, and it depicts a time of Britain that probably never was, but we all dream back to. And they capture some U-boat crew, and there's a chap called Pike. He was a young boy, and this U-boat captain's a bit stroppy, and he's saying, "Right, I'm going to put everybody's name down, and who's bad to me." That was it. They needed feeding under Geneva Convention, so one of the blokes says, "Right, gets a pencil and paper." It says, "Right, we're going down the fish and chip shop. Right, who wants cod chips? Who wants?" And Captain Mannering comes along. He says, "They get what they're bloody well given. No, they don't have choice." And the captain, the U-boat, says, "Hang on a minute, that's against the Geneva Convention." And he points this young lad. He says, "What's your name?" And Mannering says, "Don't tell him, Pike." That's a classic. And I think they did similar in an American version, didn't they? Because I think in America, I think you had the similar to Home Guard. Didn't you have the elderly people Home Guard at all?
I don't know what it was called, if they had it. I couldn't say.
But initially, they didn't have any weapons. So they were lining up with pitchforks and actually raided a museum and got flintlocks out and actually were parading with flintlocks and stuff from the museum. And they just made their own weapons. That's what they had. I mean, if Germany would have invaded, which they couldn't have done, they'd have killed themselves laughing because all they've been up against is a load of old men. But
then I guess the scenario now would be even more different, because most a lot of elderly people now are in care homes, and
yeah. Can you imagine Can you imagine them sort of armored electric vehicles? Here we go, hey, with a machine gun. It'd be quite good, wouldn't it? You know, I wouldn't put it past the government having suicide electric wheelchairs. So they have a load of dynamite strapped on the poor old sod, I guess, go flying towards the enemy. Kamikaze wheelchairs, you know. Some, you know.
Yeah.
But these they're pretty good, these electric vehicles that they've got. I mean, you got them all over the States as well. But I was almost knocked over by one.
Because it's so quiet.
Yeah. So, yeah, but these old biddies, and I've got a bleeding speed on them sometimes.
Yeah, I thought they're supposed to be limited on speed, but some of them go like
Well, you
quick
can
down the
modify
street
that.
Yeah, you can modify. But when my dad had one, an old one, he didn't like using it, and I used it once. People thought I was disabled. I was sitting there going, "Wee!" I was just did it, had a test drive on it, you know. But no, I sold it soon after my dad died. But they go about 4 miles an hour. But when they go full pelt, you couldn't run. It's about a fast running speed. It really does go quite a speed. You know, I think it's about 8 miles an hour. And the
thing is, how long do the batteries last on them things? Because I presume there is a limit to it.
Quite a few miles actually, about 10 miles, something like that, 10, 11 miles. And the modern ones go even further. You know, but
I know they go quite a distance because once my grandfather, he was in one of those, and they lost track of him, and he ended up going all the way back to the cabin from the beach where they were at, and
Really?
it was quite a number of miles away.
Mm.
Yeah, and they were like, "Where's Grandpa?"
Wow.
He took off on his chair.
Well, did I tell you I bought a electric front wheel to shove on my mountain bike? Because my neighbour gave me a mountain bike.
Yeah,
so
you
now
told me about that.
Yeah, I haven't wired it up yet, but of course, I wouldn't dream of modifying it.
Why not?
I mean, what? Well, that would be against the law, wouldn't it? So I wouldn't do such a naughty thing, would I? No. But but no, I'm not using lithium batteries. I'm using what they call them, gel batteries, because they're so
lead acid gel batteries. Yeah, or not. Yeah.
Well, bleeding
lead.
But the fact of the matter is, they've got a few advantages. One, they don't explode, and two, they don't catch fire, and three is they don't die suddenly, as the lithium does. They die slowly, so they can generally get you home. And the gel batteries have advanced a lot in recent years. And then about a quarter of the price. That's another reason why. But no, I'm only going to use it on windy days and when weather's bad, because otherwise I'll use my other bikes, because to me, I don't go to the gymnasium, but I use a push bike as a gym, and that's the way I look on it. They are my gym. You know,
Yeah.
I like to get exercise that way. Now let's have a look in chat. Now in chat, Mark Anthony says this is in Food for Thought Radio. Eric, your picture of Food for Thought Radio reminds me of the chap who did the milk tray adverts in the 1970s. Yes, unfortunately, that chap was a little bit. I think he batted for the other side, because he went through shark-infested waters, through everything, so that lady could have milk tray, and then he bleeding left the room. Why? Why didn't he stay there, the soppy sod? You know,
Because he knew they were bloody horrible.
Yeah. They are actually. I really don't like chocolates. I mean, well, I don't eat chocolate now, yeah. But have you tried the 100% cocoa bars? 100%. They're addictive. They're by Montezuma, and you certainly do get the Montezuma's revenge if you have too much.
Chocolate, real
Yeah.
chocolate. Okay.
Yeah.
It's real cocoa, absolute 100%
Cocoa, yeah.
cocoa. No sugar or anything, just cocoa. And it takes about 12 days for your taste buds to get used to it. But once you do get the kick, wow, you really do sort of start to enjoy it after a while. And is anybody else out there on a keto diet? I don't call it a diet. I call it a what would you call it? A change of lifestyle. So
I'm not. I'm on a seafood diet.
Seafood eat it.
Yeah.
See, eat it.
Oh, terribly sorry. I killed your punchline. Sorry.
Oh no, everybody knows that one.
Yeah, I know, but that's a golden rule with my uncles. You never kill a punchline, and I did. So I'm sorry.
That's all right. No, I saw your thing you posted on Telegram about the fingernails. I thought that was kind of interesting because I must have like a B12 deficiency because I have these little lines in my fingernail. Not discolored, but just like the little bumpy lines, which means I need more eggs and beef.
Maybe. Another one is Udo's, which will be cheap where you are because it comes from Canada. We have to pay a lot of money for it over here.
What? Udo's?
Udo's oil. You keep it in the fridge.
Yeah.
And you have 2 spoonfuls every morning, and that gives you all your B-vits that you ever want. Now, I've had it. I've got it. And I've got lines in mine now as well. So very... I think everybody's got lines in their nails.
Flax? No, that's different. So, okay.
Flax.
Udo's oil.
Udo's oil. It comes from Canada. And you keep it in the fridge. Over here, it's about $25 for just sort of half a litre of it. It's bloody expensive. So use it sparingly. But as you just cross the border, I should think you get it. I should think you can get it, Udo's oil, where you are.
Yeah. I see it on Amazon. I'm looking right now.
Yeah. I should think you could get it from a health food shop. Or just go across the border to Canada and get it. Because it is, I don't know if you have an import duty.
It's a blend. It's a blend of flaxseed oil, sunflower, sesame, coconut, primrose. Yeah. All of these. Oh, okay.
It's obtainable from the Abbey Health Food shop, from Dr. Miles Fleetwood. And if you mention that you heard it from this show, he'll give you a free smile. So,
there you go.
So there we are. So you get a free smile. Oh, yeah, it's free delivery. He does free delivery 2 inches from his counter. So that's not bad, is it?
Not bad.
Is the smile courtesy of some wind?
Probably, yes. Well, it'll get him wind when he thinks, oh, bloody hell, I've sold that bottle at last because it's 20 quid over here and it's about $25 in the States. I think it'll be very cheap where you are because, as I say, it's from Canada. Is it cheap? Sort of.
Well, it's like 20. Here's one. Yeah, 32 ounces of $53. But I've seen one for like 7 milligrams, 8 milligrams for 27.
This is no, you can get gel tablets, but this is the actual liquid. And that's about 500 milliliters, which would be different. I think it'd be.
I'm looking at flax. No, the Udo's.
Udo's oil, and I think he was a Hungarian that found
Udo.
Udo, an old boy, and Dr. Miles Fleetwood actually met him. So there we are. Yes. So if you go in there, you can shake the hand
of that shook the hand of Udo.
So there we go. So not many people can claim that, And I'll tell you a little thing of a odd one out. And this is off the top of my head. This is in a couple of weeks' time. Okay. Odd one out. Now tomorrow's one, I'll just repeat it, is what is the odd one out? Voters, kamikaze pilots, the Cottingley Fairies, and a bum or a dropout or a tramp. Okay.
What's a Cottingley Fairy? Maybe you said this
Cottingley
before.
Fairies were 2 little girls in 1917 or 18 took photographs of fairies in their garden up in Lancashire, I believe it. I think it's Lancashire or Yorkshire, somewhere up north anyway. Somebody in chat correct me. And they was pictures of these children holding these fairies, and they're fantastic photographs. And experts came along and said these photographs are real. They definitely are fairies.
What are they called again? What's the name?
I think it's Cottingley. Hang on,
Cottingley.
Just one moment. I'll just look this up.
Didn't Elton John used to do the same sort of thing?
Fairies.
Just one moment. Oh, Cottingley is Cottingley, fairies.
Yep.
And they're beautiful
near
photographs.
Bradford.
And it was in 1917, and there was 2 cousins, Elsie White, and Francis Griffiths. And the chap who wrote, where was his name? Sherlock Holmes. What was his name now? I can't think of his name. He went there and said, yes, definitely is true. That is it. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. He went there. And on her deathbed, one of the women in the 1980s said it was a hoax. And if you look carefully, they were cut out of a book. And they are from a famous artist of the time.
Yeah.
But people wanted to believe it. And Exo says, being a Yorkshireman, it was West Yorks. That's right. And Exo lived 500 yards from the cottage. Beautiful. And what happened is people believed it because they've gone through this terrible war, First World War. And you think you've seen death, destruction, and suddenly a story comes along of little girls with fairies on their hands. Isn't that lovely to believe? And in many ways, it got a lot of people who were very troubled by what they'd seen through. So I think they did a lot of good, those little girls. They didn't realise it at the time, but it was a big hoax. So there we go. So there,
Is that where the saying comes from about being out with the fairies?
I don't know. I really don't know.
There you go, talking about Elton John again.
Yeah, there it goes.
Yeah.
So there it goes. So it's them, voters, kamikaze pilots, and dropouts, bums, hippies, whatever you want to call them. So there we go. So which one is and Exo says sounds like a certain religion we mustn't criticize, debunking as usual. Well, no, the actual woman said it herself. Actually, on her deathbed, she said it. Yeah, she said that it was a hoax.
Well, in that case, then based on that, then it must be them. Must be that one that's the odd one out because that one's a hoax and the other three aren't.
Could be. We have to find out tomorrow morning. Tomorrow. Shall I give a clue? Shall I give a little clue? It's about dreams. That's really so. Remember, voters, kamikaze pilots, cottonly fairies, and dropouts. But after I tell, it's the wrong answer. Actually, the idea you've got. So, any guesses, Patrick?
Oh, I'm not even going to hazard a guess. No.
That will be on tomorrow.
I'll leave it for tomorrow.
Yeah, leave it to tomorrow. Yes, so that's it. But there is another one which will be coming up, which is the odd one out, and I think I've made a note of it. I've got to do a little bit of research into it. That's right. Who is the odd one out? Okay, Adolf Hitler, Gerald Ford, Jim Callaghan, who was the ex-prime minister of this country, and Gerald Ford was the ex-US president, and Winston Churchill. What one is the odd one out of those two? So those four. So it's Adolf Hitler. I've said it in the wrong order. Winston Churchill, Gerald Ford, ex-United States president, and Jim Callaghan, ex-prime minister. Which one of those four is the odd one out, and why? Any guesses?
My guess would be with
does it have to do with being democratically elected? Because I know Gerald Ford wasn't elected. He was brought in because of Nixon resigning. So,
wow.
I'm pretty sure that's it.
Wow.
It's Churchill. Yeah.
You got that bloody quick. That's true. That's right. Because none of them were elected apart from Adolf Hitler. He was the only one that was elected. Oh, I'm definitely going to get banned now. I know. But it's true. Because Winston Churchill was never elected. He wasn't elected at all.
I was reading Plato's Republic. Do you know what the definition of a pure democracy was according to him or to Socrates? A pure democracy is when it's not about voting. It's when you draw people by lots to be public officers. So it's not a pure democracy is like you elect them people by random, like pulled from a hat type system.
Wow.
So
that's really something. That is. That's interesting. Yeah. Well. I didn't know.
I know that some of these positions we'd almost be better off with a pure democracy in that case.
Well,
we draw people at random. You know, the person from the loony bin versus Keir Starmer. You know,
the loony bin would win it.
or Mr. Trump, for that matter, at the moment.
That's right. What do you think about Trump? I mean, is he actually sane? I mean,
well, there are people that speculate that he's got he had syphilis or has syphilis. He's gradually losing his mind, like James Joyce or Friedrich Nietzsche did. Who both had syphilis. So
it's nothing to clap about, is it?
Yeah, nothing to clap about. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so he's got syphilis. Well, I think that.
Well, he's known as a playboy, so why not?
Well, look,
untreated syphilis.
He gave his wife a dose, didn't he?
Yeah, that was the whole email to Epstein that he had, where he's like, "What do I do? What do I do? What drugs do I take?"
It used to be a death sentence, didn't it? You couldn't be cured of that.
Yeah, and they can cure it, but if you don't treat it, it doesn't get cured, and then you end up with it, deteriorating person's mental capacity. And I think that could explain some of what he's saying and doing, because you have these. Apparently, one of them, the symptoms is an illusion of grandeur, and he's definitely got that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't.
And so here's another one. What does Donald Trump, if it's true, and Churchill's father got in common? If it's true, what about Donald Trump? Churchill's father had syphilis. That's true. That is, and that's why.
Yeah, I think I've heard.
They say that his official father couldn't have fathered him
because he had syphilis. Or
what? And I think he was the other side of the world when he was conceived, which has been a little bit difficult. So, but you don't know who Churchill's father was. And there's also a conspiracy theory, which I don't believe, is that the Queen and her sister, their father was Winston Churchill. I don't believe it. But there is a conspiracy theory on that. Because they reckon that the Queen Mother's father, they didn't get together because the Queen Mother's gynecologist in his diary wrote, the Queen, she is pregnant by some means or other. It's a very strange thing to put. By some means or other.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
By some means or other. Fairies, maybe.
Fairies, you never know.
Laid a clutch of eggs.
There's something rude about you, Paul, so I better read it out.
Yes, I have spotted that.
Yes, Anorak is a public transport playboy. We don't assume he has the clap. Oh, dear.
If it was, it'd be the clippity clap. Clippity clap.
But no, it's. I don't think he's of sound mind. Trump, definitely not a sound mind, because if you look at the Donald Trump of, say, 10 years ago and the Donald Trump now is completely different. And eating all that bleeding junk food, though, can't be much good, can it?
Well, it's not much different than, say, the two in World War I and World War II with Wilson and Roosevelt. They both kind of started out as people who were anti-war, and then as time went on, there was blackmail material on them, or in the case of Wilson, and then FDR, he was I think he was wheelchair bound most of his political career as president. Right, yeah. So, yeah, I don't think that. But at the same time, I remember reading in Donald Trump's book, he has this book that came out, I think it was in like 2010, where he was it's called Time to Get Tough. And he talks about exactly what he's doing right now in Iran. And it's all about a chapter on OPEC and the OPEC nations, which was an agreement that started as an agreement between Venezuela and Iran. Mm-hmm. And I think what he's trying to do, based on what he wrote, is to break up the OPEC nations bargaining and to get them fighting each other, so that then the rich oil barons that are backing Trump can set the price of oil and make all the loot. And they see it as a threat. So that's one he wrote about it in Time to Get Tough in 2010, which wasn't all that long ago.
You're right. Has it
Of
gone
course.
quiet though? Sorry, mate. Carry
I
on.
was going to quickly say that, of course, is the Trump that's in there now? Is it the same one that was in 4 years ago? Because
I think it was. I think it's
the
been all
reason,
along.
The reason why I say that is because I've seen pictures of Biden where there's about 20 different versions of him.
Yeah.
Where they use masks and other bits and pieces too. Which is why you had Biden looking like an old granddad one day and something completely different the next.
I think something that explains him is the drugs that he's been on, that Biden's been on, because he's definitely been on certain types of drugs, I think. Just like his son. His son, I just saw an interview with him and Candace Owens, and he's talking about his crack cocaine use and how it's true. And at the same time, it's just interesting to hear about it from inside as it's going on with these powerful people. It's just how I just think that a lot of these people that are in power, they're really puppets and they're just being used, and they should be corrupted and blackmailed. And that's why this whole thing with Trump and that Jeffrey Epstein thing is such a big deal, because he's being blackmailed. It seems obvious. And when somebody's being blackmailed, and that's what the point of the press is, to blackmail people, to get them to go along with whatever the oligarchs want them to do.
Well, if you think that Keir Starmer and his name in Gematria matches mind control, and that's exactly what he's doing, because he's, pardon my French, but he's pissing people off left, right, and centre.
Well, he's being blackmailed too.
That's mind control. So he's matching his name, sake if nothing else.
Well, he's got the whole rent boy thing going on. That's blackmail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're just holding that over him so that he does what they want him to do, and they can always pull it out whenever he's faltering. Oh, well, we'll go back and we'll do something about this, or we can just let it go. I think is what's being, the ultimatum is given to Keir Starmer.
Yeah.
So it's similar with Trump, and it's playing off of people's passions and the sins of their youth coming back to bite them.
Oh,
and they can't say they're sorry either, because that would give the game away, and their political career would be over because the backers wouldn't back them anymore.
Oh, that's right.
That'd be a sign of guilt, wouldn't it? Or confirming what we know is true.
Right. Well, that's why that whole Hunter Biden thing was interesting, because he's actually saying, "Yeah, I did crack cocaine." It's just like, how often do people just come out in politics and admit those things? It's not too often.
Well, Exo says, now I can never pronounce this bloke's name properly. Nietzsche, is it? Plus Nietzsche.
Nietzsche. I don't know how you say it.
Friedrich
Nietzsche
had a bad PR job done against him. That's interesting. And he said, what was it? Because he attacked Freud.
He also attacked Richard Wagner, the opera,
Really?
The symphony
I didn't know
composer.
that. I didn't know that.
Oh, they were friends. They were good friends up until they had a falling out toward the end of Nietzsche's life.
Yeah. Sorry, I've got a trouble with my camera. That's better. That's very interesting. But now I've learned something here. You see, you can't snort crack, Eric, unless you have a giant hooter. I don't know anything about drugs. I mean, any drugs I know about is an aspirin, I think. And
I learned something from that interview with Hunter Biden. He talked about the difference between cocaine and crack cocaine. One you snort, the other you smoke.
Really,
and you'd think, okay, you hear about crack cocaine and it's an epidemic.
Yeah.
And you think it's made in these laboratories, and it's not. Apparently what he said was you just take regular cocaine, mix it with baking soda and water, and apply heat to it, and then it emulsifies into a smokable form, and that's it. So it's basically cocaine that's been treated with baking soda and water and heat to be smokable.
Sorry, carry on, mate.
And then it goes directly to the brain, unlike cocaine, which takes a while, apparently.
Well, Exo says crack is purified coke.
Yeah, well, like I just said, that's what Biden said. He said it's essentially been treated. Yeah, they call it freebasing, where they take cocaine, baking soda, and water, and then apply heat to it, and then it crystallizes or whatever they do, whatever happens, I don't know. But and then they smoke it in a crack pipe.
And isn't it those that link back to the opium trade, which is their world, unlike marijuana or weed or whatever, which is a plant which is really good for us, and they alienate against that, saying, well, you can't take that because it's illegal. But of course, weed is actually good for, or hemp is really good for you. It's a very good detox, brilliant detox.
I didn't. Well, yeah, hemp is okay, but as my cold remedy is bicarbonate of soda. Does that mean I'm a part junkie? But yeah,
just don't mix it with cocaine, and you're okay.
Bicarbonate of soda, man. You know, I mean, tonight I want lemon.
Just don't go smoking it. I think you'll be fine.
I'm just drinking lemon and water, man. You know.
Look at Eric. Eric's over there snorting baking soda again up his nose.
And lemon juice.
Lemon juice. He's foaming at the mouth. Wait, well, I wonder how come.
That's just a normal weekend.
Now, we got our real expert here, Exo.
Exo, yeah.
Cocaine hydrochloride base is HCI removed by freebasing.
Well, David, you should watch that Hunter Biden and Candace Owens interview. He goes into it, and I always thought it was something, convoluted laboratory thing, but apparently it's just baking soda and water and heat.
Chemistry is fascinating. Yeah, it certainly is. And Food for Thought Radio. Sorry, I just put greetings in to see if it works. I can actually put the details in. Mark Anthony was talking about chocolate earlier, and he says, I only have dark chocolate, nothing less than 85%. Well, Mark, if you try Montezuma's, you get it in grape tree, but you can get it online a lot cheaper. But bloody hell, once you get hooked on that, it's a bit like crack cocaine.
It's not good to go to bed right after you take a bunch of chocolate. It's got more caffeine than coffee, practically.
Really?
Do you not think that? Do you find? I don't know if yours is the same, but do you find that Grape Tree is really quiet? It's a place that should be buzzing with people, with what we understand as people now being awake and understanding the benefits of being healthy. Although I have to say, I did pop into Sainsbury's for the first time in 4 months, and even though it's a bank holiday weekend, it was pretty quiet, to be fair, in there. It was usually it used to be rammed, so people are turning away from them, let's say.
I'm pleased to see it. It is good to see it, and this Food for Thought Radio, which I'm looking at now, is, I hope it's making a breakthrough. We certainly have got a lot in chat in there, and Pink Planet says presidents and prime ministers are middle managers. And for anybody who's tuned in late, you're probably wondering why I'm not on YouTube. For some unknown reason, it won't connect to YouTube. We've got a technical...
No, I think we pretty much established this with your poll that you had about Keir Starmer not being a human.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why.
That's right. And probably I've Men in Black or knock on the door, or I might be dragged off by the Bolsheviks. I mean, my granddad was dragged off by the Bolsheviks. It certainly made his eyes water. But the henchmen might be coming on board. But Pink Planet says, I don't know if I just read this out. Presidents and prime ministers are middle managers. Right?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, and they are. They're like they're just there to carry out their boss's wishes usually.
Well, if they do come to get you, Chris, don't forget your Fock Pops and your Wonder Pencil if you've still got it.
Oh yes, still remember that. Isn't it strange? I think this chat is still going in YouTube. Yeah,
is it?
Yeah, it's still going.
Hang on,
I just put. I'll write something in there. Just put down.
I put the Rumble link in there earlier, just to make sure people knew that they could go there.
Oh, thanks, mate. It's much appreciated.
And then notice you said fftradio.com, which is good.
So, yeah, it's still open, the chat. Isn't that weird? That is really weird. Very, very strange. Well, great. Was it worst things happen in China, as the old saying goes? But
I was going to say, oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, mate.
I just wanted to say that calling, on Twitter or on X, it used to be a bannable offense to portray someone as an animal. And so I think that could be part of it, part of their policy.
Maybe it's closer to the truth than you think then.
Well, when they start blinking sideways instead of up and down, you got a reptilian.
Yeah. I mean, apparently, according to David Icke, he saw Edward Heath, who was the next Prime Minister, shapeshift, didn't he? So I'm not sure about that shapeshifting.
I think it's. I'm being facetious, but yeah, I've heard David Icke's theory.
Well, yes, I think there are entities that we can't see, but whether people can shapeshift or not, I do not know. I've actually I've experienced, this is demonic, where someone that's been demonically possessed, and that was my sister, and she would talk one personality and literally split second be a completely different. Then a split second later, and an actress couldn't do that. They can't change instantly, but she could. So she'd be burst in tears one moment, and then they say, "What's happened?" And she'd be completely two personalities going back.
Was she on medication or something?
No. It was her husband was standing there grinning. He was the carrier, and she caught it from him. So, and I'd say, "What's going on?" And he's standing there going, this big grin on his face, as if, And but the thing is, it's the demons that were within them. And this is what we're going to be talking about in the next couple of weeks. I think it's on the 14th of June. Jerry Mowinski will be coming on the show with Helen and myself, and we'll be talking about demonic entities and how you can actually catch them.
It's nothing to mess with, especially when you start conjuring spirits and that kind of thing. You don't know what you're dealing with. Most, it's not something that anyone should be involved in.
I 100% agree with you.
Keep them away.
Keep away, and this is what we're talking about. We're going to warn people because Helen, she counsels people that have been possessed. Jerry Mowinski, he's written books on it because he's seen it with schizophrenics who definitely listen to something, and I've experienced it in my own family. And I've got a theory that Freemasonry is witchcraft. I think it opens portals up that they don't expect.
Definitely.
I think another place where they pick up these things are casinos.
Yes.
Because most people going there are there to get their fortune told to them. And playing cards all used to be fortune-telling devices. If you go back far enough, that's the history of the playing cards. It's not just a simple game.
Yeah,
it's just like the tarot cards. You don't know what you're conjuring in that regard.
You're right. You're spot on.
It's interesting to say that, Patrick, because the roulette wheel, if you had all the numbers up on the roulette wheel, guess what number you get?
No.
666.
Bloody hell.
Yep. If you put 1 to 36, well, you got 3 sixes as well, 36. But yeah, if you add up 1 to 36, you get 666.
Yeah.
Thanks, David. He's putting a lot in chat here. Thanks, mate. Much appreciated. And the thing is that I'd like to warn people, don't dabble. Don't go anywhere near it. Because my theory, and this is only my theory, I mean, this is what I'm putting in my book, is that if you're near these people, they're a bit like ticks. Now, ticks, if you brush past some bushes or things like that, a tick will sit there and wait until an animal passes or a human passes, and they go, and they're on you, and they'll start sucking blood. Now, I think these demons, you may not be possessed, but they'll put something on you that will make you attract the possessed, which is also dangerous. So, have no part of it, get away from them. And I do think that it is very, very dangerous dabbling in things like that, because you just don't know what's around. And you've heard about John Hamer's experience with the Ouija board. Did you ever hear that at all, what he said?
No. But
when he was
the stay away from that.
Oh, do you know they used to sell Ouija boards in toy shops? Seriously.
Yeah. Oh
They
yeah.
banned them in the
They'd advertise that as like a normal box game that you'd get for children.
Well, I
Yeah.
can't pronounce it verbatim, but he said it on one of my shows. And basically, a good spirit told the kids not to mess about with things they don't understand and threw the board out. Yeah. So there are good spirits, and he got through to someone that was a good one and told him not to mess with it.
You were saying about the Freemasons as well, and I watched something. I think I've said this before, but I watched a couple of interviews with people whose relatives had been in the Freemasons, and they'd gone into, I think it was the Black Forest in Germany, and this bloke had met them, and there's a Masonic lodge in there somewhere, and there was a bloke and a woman who he met up with, and as they were walking back to this Masonic lodge or whatever it was, this chap that they'd met touched the girl on the shoulder, and she dropped to the ground because he knew exactly where to press to basically kill her or whatever he did to her. And that's all comes down to what they learn with the black magic as it were.
Oh, yes. Yes. I mean, Exo said that means the devil is everywhere, even a nice family casino game. Yes, they're actually attracted to nice people. Seriously. They actually make a beeline for kind people, and they try and convert them.
Well, it's in sport as well.
If you're a very nice person, they'll go for you.
In sport?
If you like sport is all satanic. So, for example, you've got 18 holes on a golf course, which is 6 + 6 + 6. Snooker, the world finals always the first to 18, which is 6 + 6 + 6 is 18. That got me thinking now. So you got the 18-yard box in football. There's another one I've learned. Just give me time and I'll work it out.
That's okay.
There's another one. Darts is another one. What's the most you can get with 3 darts? 180. 60 + 60 + 60. 666. There's 4.
Well,
it's everywhere. Every aspect. The whole. There's a reason why Man United are called the Red Devils, for example.
Well, I think our ancestors knew more than we did, and the science cult has let these demonic entities in. I mean, science is a good thing. I mean, without science, we wouldn't have this computer. We wouldn't be speaking to each other like this. That's the good part. But all these sort of smug gets, oh, there's no such thing as spirits. Oh, no demons. They're the ones that are dangerous. But they do go for nice people. And Exo said, or David said, we're yes. And is nothing sacred? Well, no, that's it. But no, I'll be bringing this out in the program. I think what happened with my brother-in-law and sister, I think it stuck something on me where I was attracting some very, very strange, all the time, alcoholics and boozers. All the time. That's all I was attracting. So when I had a date with a girl, it'd be an alcoholic or boozer. And there's a difference between a boozer and an alcoholic. An alcoholic is like this most of the time, and a boozer is sober and can down loads and loads and loads and loads of drink, which is basically the evil. So that's the thing. And then luckily 4 years ago, I got whatever it was. It just went because I went to a faith healing. So that got rid of it.
What's a faith healing? What is that?
Faith healing. There is you have what they call it now, spiritualist churches. Now it sounds as if you're dabbling in something negative. No, it isn't. And what it is, they put their hands close to you, don't touch you, over your head, and you can actually feel this incredible sensation. And it's of kindness and nice and lovely and things like that. And it drives out anything nasty. And people have been cured. Jesus, you could have said, was a sort of faith healer because he put his hands on people and cured them. So there's nothing oogie about it. It's quite something. But whatever I'm very, very thankful because it gave it the order of the bleeding boot. It knocked it 9 pounds of crap out of it, and it went. So that's the thing. And I'm very thankful for that. But if that's the thing, you can walk around and you're not demonically possessed, but you'll have something there which will make oddities be attracted to you. So that's gone now. So
yeah. So as a Catholic, the people who are the ones that are exorcists are the ones who drive out demons, and usually the first office of a priest is as exorcist, and they drive out the demons. And part of the ritual of baptism is an exorcism that goes along with the water and the formula for it.
Spiritualist churches are, I mean, I'm not religious, but they are, I was advised to go along there actually. And I only went a couple of times, but they believe in life after death, and they have these mediums that say, hang on a minute, there's a Bert there, he's wearing clogs and he had a walking stick. Yeah, that's it. But a lot of it is dry reading. And a lot of it is people are hearing what they want to hear. And it's very interesting. It is very, very interesting. It's not dabbling with bad things. They're good people. It's not witchcraft or anything like that. I don't. I think you've got spiritist churches in America, haven't you?
Probably Masonic lodges.
Oh no, they're not Masonic lodges or anything like that. Anybody can go in. There's nothing secret. It's men and women or anything like that. No, anybody can go along there. It's.
No, I know they have this, and as Catholic, we're told to stay away from them because it's similar to fortune telling, because you don't know what type of spirits you're dabbling in at that point. But I know we have it because we used to have this radio show, and I'd listen, the old radio shows from the 30s with Orson Welles, and it was called The Shadow, and there were a couple of episodes with him where he was at those kind of things where they're like speaking to they're at a spiritualist meeting type thing where they were contacting the dead and that kind of thing. And I just remember.
Oh, no, it's not like that. It's not sort of like sitting around. Can you hear me? Are you there? I think David Exo has summed it up perfectly. Thanks, mate. He said they're mostly old grannies. That's correct. And fakers, meaning well. And they're just kind people, but there's some talented mediums out there. Yes, I mean they bring a lot of kindness to people. It's not heavy. It's none of this, lights out, all old hands, all that crap. It's none of that. It is. Well, that it drove out whatever was in me, so they got rid of it.
So. This whole topic. It reminds me. I went to mass today, and we had a church. At church, we had a visiting priest from Haiti.
Oh, yeah.
And in Haiti, they have a lot of problem with voodoo.
Oh, voodoo, yes.
Yeah, voodoo. So it reminds me of that kind of stuff, too. It's just, I don't know.
It's nothing like that. I mean, it is very, very mild. Faith healing, Jesus did it. It's putting your hands on someone and healing them. And they do a heck of a lot of good, and I've got nothing but praise for them. So they do. It is on good. It's kindness. They're very kind people.
Which I suppose when you think about it, the spiritual healing is very similar to if you meditate and you work your way through your body and heal anything that's hurting that way.
That's right.
So I suppose it's a very similar sort of process, really, isn't it?
I think the Catholic Church would be okay with that. I don't know, Patrick. Catholic.
It would have to see the way the institution of the church that Christ instituted was with the apostles, and they would lay hands on people and heal them, and it's in the Acts of the Apostles. You can read about it after the Pentecost. They went and they were healing people who were lame throughout their life. The lame man who couldn't walk, blind people who couldn't see, and casting out demons, and that continues to this day. And the way it's regarded is that it's handed on from apostle to apostle. So they have new apostles, which we call bishops. And then there's an order to the hierarchy of the Catholic Church that regards the bishops and then the priests, and then the head bishop of the universal church would be the Pope, who would take the seat of St. Peter in that regard. And it's more to do with forgiveness of sins. Like a sin is anything that goes against God, and there's different degrees of it. So like you have mortal and venial sins, and the mortal sins are the ones that cause your soul to be eternally damned if you don't ask for forgiveness. It'd be like murder, rape, the real evil ones. And then there are venial sins, which are like white lies. Telling a white lie to somebody would be an example of a lesser sin that doesn't cause damnation. So, yeah, there's a whole structure to the institution, and it's an institution. So, and it's been going on since the time of Jesus, over 2,000 years. So there's more to it, but I know what I've been told: to stay away from mediums, stay away from anybody that tries to communicate with spirits and that sort of thing. And I think that's a good rule of thumb, because you don't know what you're dealing with. If you're not careful, you end up with big problems.
But these spiritual healers, I'm not sure how many years it is, but it's several years. They have to be trained to do it. The ones that I had 3 working on me, and they were highly trained. They've been
Where do they learn this from? Do they have a
I don't
healer
know.
school?
I don't know. There is some sort of training course they have, so they know their stuff. They know what they're doing. There's nothing evil there, and I wouldn't have stepped foot anywhere near it if there was. And you get this buzzing. It's the most incredible energy you feel within you, and you're almost walking on air when you walk out. And what I like about it is pay what you feel you can afford. So there's a little box there, and it's out the side. It's very discreet, and you can just put your money in. There's no sort of we charge a fee. They don't do that, because it's not done for money. It's done for kindness, and that is why I think it's very good. And it's mainly elderly ladies and well-meaning people and very kind people, and they do a lot to help people. There's nothing to do with evil at all. There's nothing to do with witchcraft or anything like that. There's no sort of anything like it. It's but I think that there are different levels of. I mean, what happened with my family? Whatever it was, it came from my brother-in-law. It infected my sister, infected my mother, and it tried to go for my father and myself. But it didn't succeed, but it left something on us, whatever it was. And this is and people might think, oh, this bloke's a nutcase. No, well, you can think I'm a nutcase, but I know what I saw and I know what I witnessed. So, and by sheer luck, I got rid of whatever it was that was on me, because, again, you're not actually been taken over by this demonic entity. They've left something on you that's a bit like sticky tape that sticks to things.
Yeah.
So that's what you've got to be careful.
Like a curse.
Sort of, yeah. I mean, I would. I'm a single bloke. I'm about a girl, and you think, oh, great. Turns out she's a boozer, knocking back pints and pints and pints and pints of booze. No way, because boozers are worse than alcoholics. At least alcoholics, they're drunk. But with boozers, they can drink phenomenal amount of alcohol and still look sober. And they're the most dangerous. Get away from them pretty quick. You walk away from them. You run away from them. That's my advice. If you're a single, and this is for ladies or men, and you meet someone who's a boozer or alcoholic, get away.
It's one of the worst drugs, isn't it? I mean, it is probably the worst drug.
Well, that's right.
Because it's freely available.
It's the demonic drink. It's taken them over.
That's the reason why it's called a spirit.
That's
it
right.
affects your soul, ultimately.
Oh, yeah, like a gin.
Yeah. Gin,
that's
you're
another
right.
name for a spirit.
But
spirits.
That is my advice. Even if they're the most, if you're a fella, it's the most beautiful girl in the world, or if you're a woman, it's the most handsome man in the world. If they're, excuse my language, pissed, or they're alcoholics, or, as I say, boozers are worse than alcoholics. Don't go. Just press the ejector seat. Get out. That's it. That's my advice. Never going. And that's all I was attracting all the time: boozers and alcoholics, every bloody time. And then that's it. And I mean, I'm teetotal, so I might have a Guinness when it's hot summer. But I've got Guinness now. I've found out what's in it. It's fluoride. I don't know. Is the Guinness where you are brewed in America, or is
Weak.
it shipped over?
I don't know if it's export strength, which means it would probably have a little more alcohol in it. I know certain like IPAs and that kind of thing are higher alcohol. I'm not sure. I don't really drink myself all that much either. I'll have a glass of wine every once in a while.
Yeah.
But that, I don't like to drink. So
I don't.
I don't like the feeling of getting drunk either. I've been there, done that. It's not fun.
No, likewise. The last one I was at, last time I had an alcoholic drink, if that's what it counts as, was a Cobra in one of our Indian takeaways a few years ago. And that was the first alcoholic drink I'd had in years and years and years and years. And I felt horrible. And I thought, that's it. No more. Never again. And I haven't. I wouldn't touch it with a barge pole.
Well, that's the thing. If you're not used to drink, I'm not used to drink. I mean, you give me half a pint, I'll be on my back, because you're not used to it. But the thing is, I can't understand what the thing is about getting drunk. Why do people think it's so fantastic to be drunk? I mean, you're acting like a baby. You go.
Oh, and then people get belligerent. That's the worst part.
Yeah,
like you were saying, they become like demons and possessed.
Yeah,
well, that's right.
You get it's either one of two things. They either go very quiet, or they become violent. And of course, that's the demon kicking in, isn't it? Or the spirit changing the soul to something that is not what you are.
Well, apparently, according to Mark Windows, excuse me, I've got a funny camera tonight. Mark Windows, he said that a chap died on the operating table, and as he drifted up over the sort of operating table and out, the hospital next to a pub, and he said he noticed there was a line of demons waiting for people to get drunk in the pub, and then all of a sudden they started his heart, and he's pushed back into his body again, this fella. And this was on the Mark Windows show. He said that, so it was quite interesting. But no, the alcoholism is bad. It really is. And the strange thing is, they say that it's genetic. Bullshit. That is complete bullshit. It's not genetic, because
it's habit.
It's my great grandfather, John Mann Powis. Now, he was an alcoholic, and because of what my grandfather went through, he signed the drinking pledge, which said that he'd never drink alcohol, because what happened is his father used to come home and beat him up, and beat him about, and he had a terrible childhood. And because my grandfather never drunk, unfortunately I never met my grandfather, he died before I was born, my father never drunk. My father was teetotal as well, and because of that, I'm teetotal. And people say, "Oh, are you a Mormon missionary or something?" I say, no. I mean, I might have, say, to be social, I might have a half a Guinness. But since I've learned that Guinness has got fluoride in it, I can shove it where the sun doesn't shine. I'm not drinking it anymore. So that's it. So, it doesn't bother me.
I was listening to a priest earlier today talk about how men usually they follow the example of their fathers rather than what they say, more than anything. So it makes sense, because you see your father, and that makes you more, you have a proclivity to whatever your father did because he set the example. Which
I was just thinking about that with the alcohol stuff. It's interesting that when you go to church, when you do communion, you get the bread and you get the wine, which is a spirit.
Yeah.
It's an interesting choice for a place that's supposed to be not spiritual in that respect.
Well, these are all natural things too. Wine doesn't start out as alcoholic and then it becomes alcoholic. It's just same thing with bread.
Yeah.
It doesn't start out as bread. It starts out as flour, and then you add water to it. It's kind of like baptism, and then you're into one body of the bread loaf.
That's right. It's a bit like guns. Sorry, mate, I've talked over you.
So that brought me onto another thing as well. Is it I wonder, because obviously the hand sanitizers contain alcohol. Is that what affected people during the COVID period, where they'd react in such a strange way if you weren't wearing a mask, for example, you're selfish and this sort of stuff? I wonder if it was the alcohol that was getting in through the skin, because it still gets into your system, whether it's drank or through the skin or however it's consumed. I wonder if that was what was affecting how people reacted to others.
It's a good point. I mean,
I don't know. I think it's a behavior. Just people are told what to do and they follow it because they're just sheep.
Now, Pink Planet, and I'm sorry I can't bring this up on the screen, but this is in the Food for Thought radio chat room. So going into there, it's pretty good. It is bloody good. Pink Planet said, perhaps talk about when prayer, this is about spiritual healing, when prayer has worked too. That's right. Yes, right. I prayed to God out loud to send us help. When my son, no, plus, hang on, my son NL plus pony were walking on. Sorry, I don't understand that, Pink Planet. Busy RDN. The light went and lady stopped and gave me her fluorescent coat. No, I've lost you there. I've got loads of examples where prayer works. Oh, I'm sorry I couldn't read that out, Pink Planet. I'm ever so sorry. When my son plus no, I don't know. Nuki Brown says there is a foreign export Guinness available in UK. It's 6.5%. Nice though. So yeah, whatever you do, if you're going to have a Guinness, avoid the one that's brewed in Ireland because it's full, allegedly,
Fluoride.
Fluoride. Yep. So there we
It's
go.
like any of these things, though. You can't trust any of it. You're better off making your own.
Mm.
Yeah,
I think I prefer our well water, and I have a carbonation keg where I carbonate the water, and then I add my honey and my vinegar to it, and it's really good.
That's bloody good. Honey and vinegar.
Refreshing. Yeah.
Well, I actually find lemon in water, H2O. This is yes, and the water has all been passed by our local council, so you're all right there.
Oh, yes.
That's it. Yeah, bloody salty taste.
Eau de toilette, is it?
Eau de toilette.
But at the same time, our nearby town has some of the highest fluoride levels in the state. And it's like I pack my own water when I go into town because it's just like I'm not going to drink the town.
I don't blame you.
Water.
Is it added or is it natural? Because
it's added. No, they added to it. It's sick.
Oh, bloody hell, that's terrible. Ireland's the most fluoridated country in the world. They're all sort of, you know. And Exo says all my grandparents signed the pledge. This is the drinking pledge. Yeah, they should do that years ago.
When was that? Prohibition.
Ooh. No, we didn't have a prohibition in this country.
No, but during our prohibition, which was like 1919, started till 1933.
No, I think the drinking pledge was in the Victorian times.
Oh, okay. Preceded it.
Because alcoholism was a huge problem in those days. This is how the Salvation Army started. And
which started in your country.
That's right. And there was an army against alcoholism and for purity. And that's why they go around the pubs selling their, what's their magazine now? Some name that they have. And they got a uniform. They have ranks as well. They're colonels and whatever, you know. And
the Salvation Army.
Yeah, what's that?
It's like the Boy Scouts, kind of.
Sort of, but I think you got them in the States, haven't you? Salvation Army.
Yeah, we do. They come out at Christmas time.
That's it. The general they go the rest of the year. That mournful brass bands, you know. And you notice, my father noticed this because, you know, being a blokes, we noticed this. He said the most attractive women are in the Salvation Army.
Advertising.
So, it's quite amazing. But well, I won't say that joke again.
There's some chat up line there, isn't there?
Well,
can you go and play with my horn?
Well, I'm going to tell you two things. One of them, my auntie had a boyfriend that was a plumber, and his biggest. This was in the 1950s. Okay, it was in the 50s, and he got on well with my dad. And I think they had a similar sense of humour. And he said his biggest client is the Salvation Army, and he said he's forever going there, clearing out the toilets because they're clogged up with what you call them rubbers, contraceptives, condoms. And he said it must be one of London's biggest knocking shops, the Salvation Army. He said it's always being called out to clear. He said there's very lucrative for him. He said, they're bonking away like anything. It's a knocking shop. He said, that's the Salvation Army. And the other one is when I wanted to go to the lavatory. Well, you've heard this one before, loads of times. My uncle and his new wife and my dad and his new wife went on a cycling holiday in Norfolk, and they were cycling around. And at that time, just after World War II, there's all these posters. Salvation Army was in its heyday. There's more people in the Salvation Army, I think, any other time. And they had a picture, a big poster of a woman, attractive woman, with a, what do they call it? One of those shaker things they got. And it's got happy soul. You see? So my uncle said, he said, must go to the Salvation Army. And his wife said, the new wife said, I didn't know you were religious. He said, I'm not. He said, is there a Salvation Army around here? I'm puzzling everybody. He said, I remember its uncle was one of the three comedians, you see. He said, yeah, he said, must be a Salvation Army somewhere around here. He said, what are you on about? He said, happy soul. Happy soul. Sorry. A pisshole. So when I was a kid, I didn't know what it meant. I said, Mummy, I'd like to go to the Salvation Army. It means I want to go to the lavatory. A pisshole. Sorry. But yes, but you don't see many. It says non-corporate management structure in the Sally Army. I don't know much about them. You don't see many around now, do you? Yeah, I don't see many.
There's a big one down in Oaken Gates here. There's a massive building. It's a random place for them to be, but yeah.
Really? And
a couple of the chaps used to get the bus back when I used to go down to the farm. Well, I still do. When I go to the farm shop on a Sunday, they get on the bus in Oaken Gates, and I have to say, I don't know if they were pissed or what, but they used to the half struggle to get on the bus. It was like they only gone up there like 3 or 4 stops. And lazy kids could have walked, but yeah.
No, there's an old Norman Wisdom film. You probably didn't get Norman Wisdom in States, did you?
No.
No. Well, he was a comedian, sort of. He did funny films, and he acted the part of a sort of a stupid sort of character who always wins through in the end. And he joins the Salvation Army, and they said, you'll be wearing the uniform of John Booth. And he said, well, what's he going to wear then? And Exo said, if you see the Sally Army, this is David, hang on. He said, put a pound in their tin if you see them. And he goes on to say, or 10 pence if you just left the synagogue.
I wonder who actually owns the Salvation Army. It's bound to be owned by some elite parasite, isn't it?
It's John Booth, isn't it? Because his sister was, she lived.
He's buried in London.
Is he?
Yeah.
Because I know that his sister, she lived
near
well
there.
over 100, and she was alive well into the 90s, I think. So, but they've done a lot of good. I have to admit, they do help a lot of people, and I think
what do they do? I'm just oblivious to what they do.
Salvation Army, what they did do. There's 2 ways of looking at it. In the 1920s and 30s, there's a horrendous poverty due to the Wall Street crash, and also after the First World War, because after the First World War, this country suffered probably worse than the rest because of usury. And what she did, they got these poverty-stricken children who had got no shoes, and they got families, and they helped to get them to Canada, and they paid for them to go to Canada, and they paid for them to go to places like Australia. It wasn't part of the slave thing, completely different to that, because there was a lot of children went to Canada and Australia on this sort of slave thing. This was totally different, and these people did well because Canada was the place to go because it was so rich in those days. And there was stories of a woman that came out of absolute dire poverty, and you see her, and then you see her 10 years later in a beautiful plush coat and really doing well, a beautiful house in Canada. And they have they help families who have been wrecked by alcoholism. Mainly, that's what they started off as. But now they help the poor. They go around those soup kitchens around London and things like that. They help the underprivileged a lot. I don't know too much about them, but the story I did hear is this is not about Salvation Army. I worked with a chap whose surname was Kalashnikov. And I don't know, have you heard this one before?
No.
And it's an amazing story. I said, "It's Russian." He said, "Yes." And he said that his grandmother was born into riches.
Was or wasn't?
Was born
Yeah,
into
was.
riches before the Russian Revolution. It must have been his great grandmother. And she escaped with some servants across the frozen lake, and they got out of Russia. She doesn't know what happened to her parents or anything like that, but she escaped, and these servants escaped, and they got to the Netherlands, and the servants went their way, and she just about had enough money to get a ship across to England. And there she was, a 17-year-old girl, couldn't speak English and destitute. Now, I don't know whether the Salvation Army helped her or not. I don't know, but she got she got asylum over here, and she'd gone from riches to rags. She was born in absolute riches. They were very, very well off, her family. And she went to rags, and then she went to work in the mills. And she worked as just a mill girl up north, and she fell in love with a chap who was in his 40s, and he was like a father figure to her, and she absolutely fell for him because she had nothing. And this chap, I don't know, I think he was a manager or something. He wasn't that well off, but what he did is, I think his surname was Smith or something. He changed his name from Smith by default to Kalashnikov, and they're married. And they actually, from every child they had a Russian name after that. And this is why this chap had a Russian name. And his father had a Russian name. I think his name was Ivor or something, Kalashnikov. And he had a Russian name as well. And it's quite an amazing story. So she went from riches to rags, and then she went to found the love of her life, and they lived a sort of
middle class.
Lower middle class.
Lower middle class.
Middle class. And I think he saw his grandmother when she was very, very young before she died, but she was only 17. And I think she married when she was in her early 20s, and this chap was in his 40s. He was double her age. I think it was about a 20 or 25 year age difference between them. But it was a marriage that lasted, and he absolutely idolised her. And that was it, And
Chris, I'm going to need to vacate if that's okay. I'm a bit
you've got plenty of toilet. You need to vacate. You've got plenty of toilet paper. You're okay there,
Yes, I'll send I'll do some lines. Must not.
But actually, do you remember it's bank holiday tomorrow? So
it is.
Yes. Anyway, thanks for coming on, mate. And open mic. And if anybody wants to come on, feel free, to join us in the studio. And we'll carry on until at least 10 o'clock, because that's when Food for Thought Radio goes off air. So thanks, Paul. Thanks for joining us.
Have a good evening, all. Take care.
Thanks.
Good night.
Good night. Anyway, I was going to ask you, Patrick, there's been some bug going around. Like, people have got the 2 bob bits, as we call it. I think you guess what that one is.
Yeah, I was kind of feeling a bit under the weather myself. It wasn't fun. And
no,
but a little bit of rest goes away.
That's right.
I think it has to do with the pollen and just not being used to it being outside. Because usually when I'm working, it's indoors, and it's kind of sad. But at the same time, I don't mind it. No. But yeah, you get this pollen, and it just kind of knocks the wind out of you a bit.
Oh, it does. I mean, I used to wheeze with it, and
I still have the sniffles.
Oh, you get it as well?
Oh yeah.
It's a terrible thing, hay fever. But no, I had the Welshes. I guess you know what the Welshes is.
No.
Diarrhea. Diarrhea.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah, diarrhea. I think you told me once before.
Yeah.
That-
And no,
the runs.
Not really. I sort of went in there once, and whatever it was what we call a union job. One out, all out. And I just that was it. You know, I felt quite refreshed and I felt better. So, and I was a lot lighter. So there we go. So I won't go into details because there might be people eating their tea. Especially
eating their tea, eh?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, especially eating sausages. I wouldn't advise that. But there has been a bug. I think Paul's went down with it, and quite a few people went down with it. You know, so it's a strange sort of thing.
And they all fall down. They fall down with it all at once. I noticed this. I listen to people. I listen to podcasts. A lot of podcasts, and it's all around the world. It all happens at once. I can tell when it's a seasonal type thing.
Yeah,
people get sick. And you can hear it in their voices. They get gravelly. And,
well,
allergies.
I actually do believe that it's radio waves that cause people's illnesses.
Radio waves? Yeah, it could be.
Microwaves.
I had someone telling me the other day, yesterday on FFT and Telegram. They're like, "Oh, you got Wi-Fi. That's a big problem. You got to stop it." And I'm like, "Oh, thank you very much for being concerned." And but yeah, it could be for all I know. I run a radio station too. Maybe it's the radio waves from the radio station.
Could be, but then
RF.
But you look at these pirate stations. We had pirate stations that were on board ex-Liberty ships.
Yeah,
and you think of these huge aerials they had with them.
Well, even the military stuff, the radar and all that the military soldiers go through. You know, they're right next to these things that cause.
Well, my dad had one on his back.
Yeah,
and you've heard the story about the call sign, haven't you?
No, what's that?
Well, they used to have a call sign, so they knew because it was in frontline intelligence, they had to send signals to each other. And one of them was waterfall, because they knew that if the Germans listened in, they can't pronounce their V's properly, so they could have waterfall, you know. So they always have words with W's in it. Well, they're looking for a new code word, and it had to be 3 syllables. And they're sitting around. One bloke said, "What about gnome?" "What?" And everybody laughed. Said, "What, you bloody idiot or something?" He said, "No, genomi." So the code word was genomi.
It's like gnocchi, like in Italian. They have.
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're going around genomi, 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 genomi. But they captured a senior German bloke, and because a lot of them could speak German. This chap could speak English, you see. And he used to laugh and joke. He used to crack jokes with each other. And he said, "You must tell me," he said, "it's driving us absolutely mad." He said, "What is this word genomi? It's gone to the top code breakers in Berlin and they can't crack it." And he said, when they wrote it down, I said, "It's gnome." They rolled up with laughter because gnomes come from Germany. They didn't even realise genomi was gnome.
Gnome, yeah.
Genomi. You know, so it's quite surprising with these words. But it's surprising how, talking about words, how words can change things. Like, for example, if they said, "We're going to thieve off of you, the government," people say, "That's disgusting." But if they say, "We're going to tax this," that's perfectly okay. The word tax and theft is exactly the same. But it's okay to say tax. And this just goes back to what is on the placard, or whatever you want to call it, for this show. And that is the odd one out, where you've got, what's his name? The Highwayman.
Yeah.
And you've got
Adamant.
Hang on, I've got to look it up in my book. Where are we? We've got Dick Turpin, the Highwayman, Adamant, and where is it now? I've bloody lost it now. And a few others. Now, the odd one out. Oh, that was it. Traffic police and ULEZ or speed
cameras. Yeah, speed
and
cameras.
It was Adamant because he acted the part of a highwayman, but never was a highwayman. Whereas all the rest are genuine highwaymen and women, because speed cameras are there to steal your money off of innocent folk as you're going or doing your, going
Pay
about
the toll to the troll.
Toll to the troll. And
Yep.
police are highwaymen, modern highwaymen, because they give you a fine And of course, Dick Turpin was a highwayman who was very active around Hertfordshire. And there's a pub up the road from me where he's supposed to have hid when he was on, I think, was it Black Bess or something, on his horse as he was running away. But he wasn't a very nice man, because he was I don't think he said handed and deliver. I think that was a bit romantic. He'd probably say, give me your money or
Well, you know what? This whole thing about the Strait of Hormuz is a big old highwayman type thing going on. If you consider what's going on with ships being escorted in and out and that kind of talk.
Yeah.
It's piracy. It's piracy on the high seas, except it's on land, the land pirates.
Well, it's always amazed me why. I mean, the English Channel is about 25, 30 miles across.
It's not that far, yeah.
No, and I've actually been to Dover, by the way. I like this comment. I've just put it down on the bottom of the screen. I don't think I can repeat it. I can. I don't think a Jew would even give 10 pence exo. That's to try. That's a Jewish joke, actually, I think. Yeah. But no, I mean, I've actually been to Dover on a very, very, very clear day, and you can actually see France opposite. You don't need a telescope or anything like that. And if you look through binoculars, you can actually see cars going along. That's how close it is.
Yeah, I've flown from Paris to Gatwick, and it's a very quick flight.
Oh, yeah, it's not that far. And if you, I've often wondered, why don't the Brits, I'm not going to give them ideas, why don't they charge a toll for going through the channel?
They should.
Yeah.
Why not?
And the Irish through the Irish Sea as well. I mean, because it's one of the most busiest.
You want to know something that most people don't know about this whole migrant thing, the illegal aliens coming in and out. What they do, they have this thing called the Schengen zone. Have you ever heard of the Schengen visa zone?
Oh, yes, I know all about that. Yes.
Yeah, well, Britain's not a part of that.
That's right.
So what they do is they go to Britain and it clears their visa, and then they come back and they can stay longer in the Schengen zone as a consequence.
Right. We're only allowed 6 months in the Schengen zone, and then you have to. So what people do,
they make their passport runs, where they go across the border.
What they do is they go to a non-Schengen area, which is Morocco, stay there for 6 months, and then come back for 6 months. Right. It's ridiculous. Or if you've got Irish ancestry, and boy, that's a rip-off. If you can prove Irish ancestry, it costs you something like almost $2,000, and you can get an Irish passport from the Irish government.
Really?
The reason why it costs $2,000 is they research into it, so they say. It's a rip-off. So even if you've got all the paperwork to prove it, it still charge you a lot of money. And that way, because they're in the EU, you can stay there as long as you want.
Well, I could have gotten Swiss passport if my grandpa had filed for it before he passed away. Because
they're not in the EU. They're not in the EU, so they
I know. I'm just saying that it's like a hereditary type thing. Like his brother was born in Switzerland. He was born in America, and then if he had gone back, he could have applied for Swiss citizenship, and then my father would have gotten it, and then I would have gotten it.
You might be able to. I know in Ireland, you don't have to live in Ireland to get an Irish passport, provided you can prove that
you have the ancestry.
Ancestry.
Well, that's like the Moranos from Spain all got Spanish ancestry in the last few years because they're like, oh, we need our reparations for the Spanish Inquisition, because a lot of Jews got voted out of Spain as a consequence of the Spanish Inquisition. And from 500 years ago, they used that as a reason for granting them citizenship in Spain. Just maybe like four years ago or so. Yeah.
Because I mean, apparently, my great God knows only far going back grandmother in the 1790s was Irish, and she came to Britain. So I could claim I could get an Irish passport. But that's going back a bloody long way. It really is. 17.
Well, it's like the Israelis. They claim 2,000 years ago it was given to them and they were booted out. So 2,000. Yeah, come on. I mean, it's a joke after a while.
I want reparations from Italy because my ancestors were thrown to their own lions.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So, and I've got a fear of lions. I mean, if a lion walked in here now, I'd crap myself. So I want, what do you think? 10,000 bucks. I think that should cover it. Okay, you know. I mean, it's upset me all my life. You know, I can't go near a lion. But no, seriously, you might be able to with Switzerland get a Swiss passport. Yeah, always handy, even if never used, as my father used to say. But no, there's a lot of these things you can get hold of, but it's all a money market. That's all it is.
Yeah.
You know, but so you're of Swiss ancestry.
My father's side, the Chanel family is Swiss.
It does sound French. So
it's the French side. The Sanderson is where they were from, which is kind of near the Jura, which was where you get the word Jurassic. Comes from that region of Switzerland.
We might be related.
Could be.
We could be distantly. My mother, her ancestry is Stora, which doesn't sound very. It was a maiden name. That's French. And my father, his ancestors is Germany. So I'm a bit German and a bit French. So there we are. And the trouble is, French side, I don't say this about. They came over with the Normans, so they're a bit Norman. So I'm a bit Norman inside me. So I don't like that because the Normans weren't like.
You're a mutt.
English.
You're a mutt. Just admit
I'm
it.
a mutt.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm a mutt. Yes,
I'm a mutt too.
Yeah, we're all mutts, you know. But what's this? You wouldn't be able to see France from Dover if you lived on a globe Earth because the curvature. So we obviously live on a flat Earth.
Okay.
Yeah, fair enough. And Exo says, what's that got to do with the price of inflationary eggs?
No idea.
Eggs. No idea whatsoever. But anyway, it sounds good, doesn't it? But no, Dover, it is quite frightening to see how close France is. You wouldn't believe how close it is. But no, the other thing is before the Channel Tunnel that was, but now we've got the Channel Tunnel, we're no longer an island, I suppose, because it goes through by railway to France.
Well, that's like Manhattan has the underground tunnels. So it's, is that an island? I suppose it's, yeah.
So Cornwall.
It's under the water though. So I don't know.
Yeah. But Cornwall used to be an island because it had a river, River Tay, that went through it. And they used to talk about going to the mainland when they went to, even though the River Tay, you could roll with trousers up or pants if you're American and just wade across it. It's like a stream in some parts. So it's not really. And when they put the bridge across, so a lot of the Cornish were a bit peed off about that, because they're no longer an island. But it's quite surprising. But really, when you think about it, it must be very fascinating from an American viewpoint to have one place. Oh, here we go. It's starting off of radio.
I got the raspberry. Who's this? Jack Hodges?
Jack Hodges.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, everybody.
Yes, thank you, everybody, for the radio. Sorry you're not on YouTube tonight, but if you're on YouTube, you wouldn't know I'm saying it.
Knows it. He doesn't sing nor rave about his fruit, he simply blows it. He's doing it all day long. It's better than any song. Though it isn't very pretty, you've got to admit it's cute. So all together let it go. Eat more fruit.
You have been listening to Fockham Hall with Eric Von Essex. Remember, whatever you do, have a bloody good laugh.
And good night, Food for Thought Radio.
1, 2, 3. Cluck, cluck. Wake up your mind. Fill up your day. Oink, oink, oink. Smart little bites that brighten your way. You're listening to Food for Thought Radio here at FFTradio.com. Food for Thought Radio here at FFTradio.com.
And that's it, I think. Thank you very much. And this is the temperature in the room tonight. It's 28.2 degrees.
Wow. No
So
air conditioning either.
No, we don't have air conditioning.
No.
No, the only air conditioning is the window being open, and that's it.
That's like at work. I've got these hot ovens, and all of last summer I didn't have air conditioning, only some fans blowing, and man, that got hot.
Oh yeah, it is hot.
600-degree ovens.
Now, who did the voiceover commercial, Eric?
AI.
Yeah,
I did that.
You did it. Well, you're bloody good at it. Until you that.
Well, I just did all I did was prompt the search engine. I think it was the Yandex, and I said I want an AI British voice. It gave me something.
That's great. That really is. No, you're very skilled at that, and thanks for all the help you're doing. Also, I need to look in this recording thing you told me about. So I haven't forgotten about it. Don't worry.
4K video downloader is what it's called, and you can download any Rumble or YouTube channels that you want.
That's brilliant. And also tomorrow I might be using Restream instead of Rumble. I'll be on Rumble and hopefully YouTube, but I hope to use Restream because
which will go out to both.
Yeah,
it'll still be on Rumble, so don't not go to Rumble if you're used to going to Rumble.
Yeah. Thanks for adding that. We'll still be on Food for Thought Radio and all that. So thank you so much. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm wilting in this heat because of no.
Yeah, you get going. I'm gonna go chill out here. Well, it's nice, Patrick, beautiful weather here.
Been fantastic show. Thank you so much for coming on. Please join us tomorrow night. I believe Survival Steve should be on tomorrow, and you'll have this will be the one for tomorrow. Who is the odd one out? Okay, voters, kamikaze pilots, the Cottington Fairies, and a bum or a dropout or hippie or whatever you want to call them, a hobo. Which one is the odd one out? And you'll find out tomorrow night. Thanks, Patrick, for joining us. Please put the thumbs up. I would almost forgot, but I haven't. I'd like to thank Mike, who bought me 5 coffees. Thank you so much, Mike.
Is that buymeacoffee.com?
Buymeacoffee.com. It's Mike Mantis.
What's your username on Buy Me a Coffee?
I can't remember. It's down in the
description. Okay. Yeah.
Thanks for prompting me, Patrick. It's much appreciated. But thank you, Mike. It's very kind of you, and it really is much appreciated. It's very kind, and that goes into buying the goodies and that for the show to help it to sort of, like this sound thing and things like that. So thank you very much, everybody. And oh yes, and Exo bought me some coffees as well. So
cool.
That's David as well. So it's very kind. And whatever happens, put your thumbs up. Please think of subscribing because it's free to subscribe. Tell others. And if anything goes wrong in the future, go on to Food for Thought Radio and you can actually hear the show on there. So whatever happens, have a bloody good laugh and good night.